Hey everyone, what's up? John B Review Central here. By the way, I'm just gonna give a quick notice that this video will not be edited pretty well. It's just me having a bunch of photos. I've been trying a couple of stuff to make it look as decent as possible, but honestly, I'm just gonna try to make it as entertaining as possible. Entertaining as possible. So anyway, as you saw on screen for like 100 seconds now, the Samsung S20 Plus versus the Apple iPhone 11 Pro. Okay, as you should know, so both of these are the semi-flagship phones of the two top companies when it comes to the phone industry. Samsung's top flagship right now is S20 Ultra, and iPhone's top flagship is the 11 Pro Max. I saw everyone doing the 11 Pro Max versus the S20 Ultra, S20 versus 11. I was thinking, okay, I need to try to do something a bit different. And here I am doing the S20 Plus versus the 11 Pro. So first of all, let's start off with the release date. The iPhone 11 Pro came out in September 2019, and the S20 Plus came out in March 6, 2020. This is about a 7 month time gap, which means that Samsung would have a lot more time to put newer tech into their phone, newer newer chips, newer operating system, even though iPhone is still superior to Android's operating system in every aspect. Second of all, we're going to talk about the build. For the iPhone, it has a glass front, the Gorilla Glass, a glass back, Gorilla Glass, and stainless steel frame. It was said to have the strongest steel in the world for, I don't even, I think it was either the screen or the back, but we all know it's iPhone. You drop an iPhone, it cracks. Nothing's gonna change about that unless iPhone finally decides to start giving your phone quality screens, which they haven't started to do yet. No matter how much they say this is the strongest screen in the world. Anyway, Samsung has the glass front Gorilla Glass 6, glass back Gorilla Glass 6, and aluminum frame. The display size for iPhone is 5.8 inches, while Samsung has a 6.7 inch display screen. This means that Samsung has a whole extra inch, well, 0.11 inches to be exact. Sorry, I can't add or subtract. It has a whole, Samsung is pretty much in front of iPhone by a whole inch in terms of the display, and an inch is a lot. I should know, definitely. Resolution. Samsung has 1440 times 3200 pixels, while iPhone has 1125 times 2436. And pretty much that means that Samsung has a better display. So in terms of display resolution, Samsung wins. Samsung wins again when it comes to protection with a Corning Gorilla Glass 6, and iPhone with the scratch resistant glass. This said scratch resistant, not drop resistant, so don't go testing that out. Operating system, iOS has the iPhone has the iOS 13, which can be upgraded to 13.3, and Samsung has the 10.0 One UI 2. What always intrigued me about iPhone was how, unlike Android, they constantly improve the operating system so that it can be as functional as possible, making every slight change that needs to be made, every slight change that people ask for, aside from security, into the iPhone. And unlike Android, which pretty much only upgrades the operating system every pretty much year, and this is excluding the user interface, iPhone upgrades the operating system almost every 2 to 3 months, which is really impressive for a company that also has a lot more to worry about than just phones. Moving on, the chipset is the Apple A13 Bionic, which is pretty much, yeah, decently fast. And for Samsung, it has the Exynos 990, which has proven, well, there was a couple of problems with Exynos 990. For one, in some cases, the benchmark showed that it decreased performance by about 20% compared to the Snapdragon 865, which currently is the fastest chipset in the world. That's up for debate against the Apple A13, but for Android, it's the fastest chipset in the world. Moving on, the CPU. It has a hexa-core it has a hexa-core CPU, Apple, of course, 6, don't know why. Octa-core for the Samsung, and 8 is more than 6, so yes, I think that Samsung has beaten the iPhone for this department. The main camera, as you should know, iPhone has a long history of continuously beating the Samsung as far as phone quality goes. Here are some clips from the iPhone 11 Pro. They're really smooth, has a nice contrast, and overall just really smooth, and colors come out really clean. You can't really see the word because my phone's awful, but the ultra wide is really good. It has 3 12 megapixel cameras. One is a wide, one is a telephoto 2x optical zoom, and one is an ultra wide. For Samsung, it has 4 cameras. 4 doesn't really mean more, but it has it has 2 12 megapixel cameras. One is a wide and one is ultra wide. It has a 64 megapixel telephoto with a 3x hybrid optical zoom. But someone was saying that the 64 megapixel actually isn't a 64 megapixel due to the operating system not being able to process the cameras to a full 64 megapixel photo. So the 64 megapixel camera is only producing photos at 12 megapixels. So technically, it's pretty much the same, just as the same, pretty much the same megapixels as iPhone, but iPhone has a better camera processing system, so the cameras would come out better. This is a Samsung photo, by the way, and as you can see, zoom in a bit with the Samsung. A lot of the words tend to get blurred out. You can still read it golden, full flavored. Can't even read the rest of it. Not sure if it's the handwriting in my eyes or just that the camera isn't that good. And then there's a 0.3 megapixel TOF 3D depth camera for Samsung. One thing that Samsung beats the iPhone in is that the cameras are huge, so it has a lot more how do you say it, bigger sensors, so that it can absorb more light and just produce better pictures. Some features for the Samsung and for the camera, iPhone definitely wins in terms of this. It has a quad LED dual tone flash, which means the pictures come really bright. Yeah, pretty much. And Samsung only has LED flash, which gives iPhone the edge in terms of how bright the pictures can be. Yeah. In video quality, iPhone can shoot 2160 pixels at up to 60 frames per second, and 1080 pixels up to 214 frames per second. But Samsung definitely more than one-ups it, practically 2 times it, with a 4320 pixel at 24 fps, 2160 pixels at 60 fps, and 240 fps for 1080 video. And last but not least, 720 pixels at 960 fps, which is remarkable. And it has a dual video recording. I have no idea what that means. I don't have a Samsung. Selfie camera, 12 megapixels with a SL3D for iPhone, and a 10 megapixel wide camera for Samsung. Oh yes, Samsung definitely one-ups video. I forgot to say that. Just had to make sure I repeat that. Yep, Samsung wins for video. In your face, iPhone users. Selfie camera, iPhone wins. Video, yeah, iPhone definitely wins. I'm not even going to call out this stuff. 2160 pixels at up to 60 fps and 120 fps for 1080 pixel. Well, Samsung doesn't even have the possibility of going up to 120 FPS at any pixel rate or pixel resolution or whatever. So yeah, iPhone definitely beats Samsung in terms of selfie videos. Battery life, Samsung has a higher milliampere power, but iPhone has better optimization. iPhone has a 3046 milliamperes battery, and Samsung has a 4500 milliampere battery. But first of all, Samsung has I think it's the S20 Ultra that has the 120 Hz display, which burns battery ridiculously fast. And there's a comparison between them, and at 120 Hz, the S20 Ultra went up to about 5 hours of battery life and then it ran out. Unlike the iPhone, which went up all the way up to 6 hours. Well, this was the 11 Pro Max to be fair, so. Yeah, and this is the S20 Plus to be fair as well. But if both of them are at 16 Hz, I think that iPhone still would win due to its great optimization. Good job to whoever is out there working their butt off to make sure the operating system is as great as possible. iPhone has 18 watts charging, Samsung with a 25 watt charging. The colors are, I'm just going to show you. For iPhone, it has space gray, silver, gold, and midnight green. A lot of dark colors, minus the stupidly white, I guess. Oh, that's silver. I take it back. I'm blind. Yeah, that's silver, apparently. And also that peach looking color, which is, I think, gold. I have no idea. I think I'm colorblind at this point. And then Samsung is, yeah, here we go. Samsung is here with cosmic black, cosmic gray, cloud blue, cloud white, and all red. It's obviously clear that this guy was smoking. Like, how do you come up with this stuff? Cosmic gray, cosmic blue, what? Cosmic black, cloud blue, cloud white. Oh, I'm on cloud 9. So, software. Wait, I can't do software. Well, let's look at software now because, as I said, I was talking about optimization and iPhone for the longest time, so it's about time we head into the software department in this field. With Samsung, here's some cons. We start off with the cons before we start off with the pros. You want the bad news before you get the good news, so the good news feels refreshing, like juice. Yeah. Samsung cons: fingerprint problems, too much shadow, over smoothing pictures, focus problems for video recording, accidental touches due to curved display, and Bixby is awful. Some pros in the S20 Plus are the camera is still clean regardless of the over smoothing of pictures and focus problems. The bezels allow the phone to be used in one hand, which is really useful for people like me. Yeah, if you know me, you know what I mean. User interface is as smooth as ever. Camera sensors absorb a lot of light due to it being a lot bigger than the iPhone 11 Pro, and sacrificing the fact that the camera bezel is practically a grill. It's legit. Yo, this is legit what my stove looks like. But moving on, Pro mode can be used to solve many camera problems like stated earlier, and the focus is better than Ultra, but not as good as the 11 Pro, which we are comparing it to. So yeah, focus, 11 Pro wins by a mile. Here are some cons with the 11 Pro. Exact same design. iPhone continuously does it. They continuously bring the same design over and over for around 2 to 3 years and then change it. To be honest, most smartphone companies do that. It's not really anything I can bash iPhone alone for. Xiaomi does it. Samsung does it. Google doesn't do it. Google definitely doesn't do it. Google is a bit too creative, to be honest. 3D touch is gone. Still a huge notch. This is what I said with same design. Still a huge notch. I have no idea why they decided to leave the notch there. It's awful. Ultra wide preview causes lagging. Night mode isn't optional. Now here are some pros with the 11 Pro. Improved speed for Face ID. Highest brightness on the market. Highest audio input absorption on the market. Night mode brights up slowly to make it look as if you're actually seeing it with your own retina. and great user interface for video. You can take the videos really fast without wasting too much time. A fight is happening, you hurry up, you pull that video down, and in about maybe a second or so, your video recording one of the greatest fights of all time. Your own beatdown. Moving on to the prices. Apple iPhone 11 Pro 64 gigabytes version is $986. The 512 gigabyte version is $1,728. The 256 gigabyte variant is $1,567. I'm saying the first one I'm saying, as you can see, is for iPhone 11 Pro. It can go all the way up to 1,728, so watch out for that. And then there's the Samsung price, which is far cheaper as it only has one variant, $929 for the 128 gigabyte variant, which is the only variant. So tell me in the comments which phone do you prefer. I personally, looking at my awful wallet, will probably choose a Xiaomi, but we're not going to speak on that. But moving on, in terms of storage, iPhone goes up much further than the S20 Plus, but the S20 Plus has extended storage. You can use a SD card and carry it maybe all the way up to a terabyte, which is more than making up for the loss of storage. It has more RAM as well, so that's a plus. But iPhone, as I said a billion times in this thing now, has much better optimization, and so RAM isn't really much of a issue when it comes to the iPhone. So tell me which phone you like the most. The design is kind of interesting to me. I can't really say which one I like the most, but yeah, stay cool and make sure to take care of yourself with all of this quarantine madness and the corona. Make sure to stay safe, and Johnny B for you central out.